in the documents directory, I think. Yes, WW cannot write to them. That's what's needed. So
the two items at the top of the list, they're orders and shopping carts. You can see by the permissions for those new to Unix.
well, let's see if we got it this time. Cross our fingers here. There we go. Finally. I guess I'll leave this open in case we need to access that later. So, okay, so we're going to create, we're going to be able to add something to the cart here. I'm going to grab my database just so I have it open. I just need the .hdr so I can reference the header names here. Drop. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to the body result page. Alright.
Fridge. Or the, not the furnace. Pump.
We have some interesting noises going on in the background here. So, okay, so where's the, let's look for the add to cart here. There it is. Okay. So we're just going to add this on the index page here. So we're going to say add to cart, and now we can stay with our conventions here and do the CTR underscore. CTR page equals, and by putting a CTR page equals CTR page with square brackets around it, we can that then take us to wherever we're at here. So we're in the body results. I could just put results there instead, but this will do the same thing. And then we'll do, since the results page you can get here with either categories or search terms, I'm going to put both of those in the link.
And just to reiterate that, imagine the index page as a collection of chunks that you can turn on and off. So you can turn it into a different kind of page. All we're doing here are passing the variables that tell which one of those chunks to turn on and off over and over. So every time you click this link, add to cart, it just goes back to the same index page, but it passes settings that tell the page what to display. It's kind of a really efficient way to write code for a WebDNA site.
Alright, and so here we've got our link, and it's going to trigger off this CTR action. With a add to cart value. The last thing we need to put in here is some sort of identifier. Oh, that's one thing I should say, is the add line items requires that you have a variable in your products database called SKU, and that's the identifier that we need to pass. We may change that in the future, but for right now, it's a required parameter. So, and CTR underscore SKU equals SKU. Since we are in a found items loop right here, anything inside that found items loop is going to have access to any of the fields in that surrounding database. In this case, products.db. In products.db, there's that field name SKU. So, body results. All right, so we have everything, I believe, that's needed. And in the old days, we also used to append and a cart equals cart to make sure that we create a session that's fluent throughout the site. But I'm gonna on this one I'm going to introduce cookies, I guess. So we'll do that. We have to do that next.
Gutsy move.
So an index.dna here, right near the top of the page is where we'll do our add to cart. I'll just write a placeholder for that quickly now. Comment it. Add to cart. Okay, so I'm creating the show if for the add to cart, and I won't put that in right now, but got a placeholder for it. Above that, I'm going to start the cookie stuff, and I'll probably need to reference the docs on this one. So we're going to get should we call our cookie CTR session?
Mm-hmm. That's a good name.
So get cookie. I'll go to the docs right now and oops, I just closed that page. Didn't want to do that.
It'll be interesting too. The cart function generates a large random number, and that number is used to identify the order file. And so we're going to take that number and write it into a cookie. The nice thing about that is the cookie can be called anytime we need to figure out that number to attach the user with his cart. But then we can also write it so that if the guy leaves the site and comes back in a few days, the site can remember anything he might have put in his cart from a couple of days ago if we want.
All right, however long we want to create that session for. Okay, under browser info, we have a few cookie tools: set cookie, list cookies, and get cookie. And those are what we're going to be using here. So I'm going to grab the set cookie snippet here. I'm just going to grab this whole thing and drop it in there. So what we're doing, this get cookie is looking for a cookie called CTR session. If it doesn't find one, it's going to want to set one. So we're going to first initialize the value of cart. And then we're going to fill in the set cookie information. So